I would see someone post something and be like, okay, I need to do that next race. And then I'd be like, if I don't get that time, I need to work harder to get that time. And it's like, what am I working for? Like, this isn't helping my family. This isn't helping me spend more time with my fiance. This is actually making me more tired and just less of a person than I could be for them. So obviously I think it's important to push yourself, and that's why I think you sign up for these races, is to discover who you are in the process to get there. But don't lose yourself in the process to get there.
Half hour since we saw you. It started out as rain, then we got a wintry mix of sorts, and now it's just straight snow. And I can also tell you that it's gotten significantly colder since the last times I saw you at 4:30 and 5 o'clock. Traffic here picking up a little bit. If you're heading out the road on 422 and Lebanon County this morning, you can expect that the roads are going to be a little bit slippery out here as we continue on with the snow.
I think I've gotten caught up in what's the next race, what's the next speed I'm gonna run, or how fast my next marathon is gonna be, or just constantly thinking about like what's next. And I think slowing down, focusing on strength training and running has just allowed me to like have vitality in other areas of my life, not just training, because now, you know, I have the energy and strength to do things around the house, whereas like in the Ironman prep, it was like, sometimes it was hard just to go take out the trash. So just, I think lifting and running right now, this pretty well orchestrated balance is just, allows me to have vitality and just show up to be the best person I can for my family and like my fiance. And that's more valuable to me than any time or any race. I've never had an experience in my life before, like my Ironman, where I did 18 weeks of the best I could do in training. I remember being 25 miles into the marathon at the tail end of the Ironman. I have one more mile to go till I see that finish line. And I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm so proud of this accomplishment, but I'm more proud of all the work that was beforehand. So yes, I get a medal and I get a finish line picture, but really, like, I think the whole finish line of all this is at the end of your life, or at the end of your journey, that you became the person that you wanted to be, or that you strive to be. And it was just a good correlation for me to see, like, the finish line and then reflect back to all the work that I did and realize, like, that's where the prize is. Not the medal, not the picture, not the Instagram post, but what it took me to get there. So that's just what I think is the most valuable thing that you get out of the whole process. This is what I love. If someone was like, Nathan, how would you have to train for the rest of your life? I would say I would lift heavy and I would run far. And that's about it. I wouldn't probably, I think just in general, whether you guys realize it or not, you see someone else post a time on their watch. You know, you're subconsciously, you're like, oh man, am I doing enough? Or someone lifts a little more weight. Man, am I strong enough? Like, should I be stronger? Like, I think with social media, all these things come into our minds and we don't sometimes have a filter, and we let it get to us, when in reality, like, the only filter you really need is to come in here and humble yourself. And as long as you're getting better, like, that's what our mind should be focused on, not about what other people are doing or what times they're doing, or like the whole idea of, like, you know, I've done it before where I'm like, oh, I'm going to run sub 3 and I put all my self-worth into doing this one thing. Or I'm going to bench 405 and I put all my self-worth into doing it. And then when I do it, it's awesome for a second. But then I realized that the best part of this whole journey was what it took to get there. And I think so many people on social media get so concerned about, oh, this is a time that's going to make me happy, make me feel qualified. No, it's like everything that it takes to get there may, but that, you know, say it's sub 3, that's with you for a second, you know, it's a glimpse in time. Whereas, like, what you do and how you do it lasts forever, and that impact affects everybody else. I think I learned to be a lot more grateful for how I was raised. When you come from a small town, you always picture things in bigger towns to be, you know, a lot greater opportunities, but it just made me realize, like, to appreciate the little things of being close to my family and seeing my grandmother, seeing my mom and my dad more often. And, you know, I didn't have that when I lived further away, and it really just taught me to cherish the little things of just having that quality time together, and also too just not conforming to like the traditional mold of like, oh, if you move to this place it's gonna make you happy. I truly believe what makes you happy are the people that you're around, and you know, that's what I tried to. I thought moving to another place would, just the place in of itself would make me happy, but yet the people matter the most. So just being around like genuine people that truly care is kind of what I didn't realize I had in my hometown, and coming back, like, I realized that I had it all along. These people in your life, they're only here for such a finite amount of time, and you know, you don't want to miss out on that. And I don't know, I felt like as the months would go by, I didn't get that time back, and that really hurt. So I try, you know, you never know where life's going to take you, but I just try with the opportunities I'm given to be able to spend that time that, you know, I don't regret that I made that decision to be back here. So. On the day I sit around more and don't move as much, and then I go into the weight room, sometimes I just feel like stiff and I don't feel as fluid. So this morning's run kind of, I don't know, I just had like this fire in me still, to like a lot of energy, and a lot of it comes from making sure your diet's dialed in and getting enough carbs in during the run and then after. So but I feel good. I think that's what it's all about. Instead of focusing on these huge goals, you focus on these small things that amount to a greater goal. It's no different than going out for a run and maybe you run 1 second faster. Instead of looking on your Strava and comparing it to somebody else, just be happy you're 1 second faster. That's where I found joy in all the simple training, is like just the small amounts of progress that you fall in love with, because you know you're getting better. The moment that I think really made me change the way I thought about commitment was I would see my fiance just be there for me through each prep that I've done, sacrifice her time, sacrifice her just workouts, allowing me to work out in this home gym of ours, just everything she would do for me so that I could cross that finish line or get that race that I wanted done. And I just was seeing these things happen over time. On the couch, I'd be exhausted and she's like doing a lot of the work around the house. And I think just all those moments kind of hit me at once. And it was during my sub 3 hour marathon attempt, is kind of when I first started to feel this way, that, you know, I'm kind of just dragging her along and I'm not really going with her. I'm like just going my own direction. And I wanted it to be about us. I wanted to be a family and do this together. And I realized like my duty is to be there for her as much as she is there for me. And I realized then, back to all of it, like, this isn't just my journey. I have to show up in other areas of my life. Life's not about training. Life's about being there for those people, training to be a better version for those people. And yeah, the races are almost like sharpening the sword so you can get there. But that was like a moment of seeing her sacrifice everything and me not sacrificing as much, but she was doing it for me. And that was really hard when that hit me, and that forced me to change. And I'm so blessed to be able to like witness that. And then also too, like, you just spend less time with going to see family because you're training. And it's like, man, this really does have a toll. And, you know, there's seasons in life where I think sometimes you can do these things and they make sense, where you want to sharpen your sword. But then there's still a balance that you still can't neglect everything. And it was just, man, I just feel so thankful to now feel like a family and we're all chasing this goal. Like now, I think when I sign up for a race, I'm thinking about like, how much is this gonna affect my family and my fiance? And what am I gonna get out of this? Am I gonna get closer to God? Am I going to feel some sort of benefit from doing it to my soul? Like, am I gonna become a better person, or is this just more for vanity? Is this just more for Instagram? Like, so now, like, I'm just really interested in growing my soul, just growing the part that other people will see that I can help them with, of just inner strength. If there's anything I think about, it's, did I show up for the people that I love today? And you know, sometimes that is a hard question, and I think we're all working to be better at that, but I know that tomorrow is a gift and another opportunity to do so, and I'm not worried about my training split. I'm worried about doing that, so that's what I focus on.